Hey, Engraver here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a video on DistroKid. I wanted to tell you the #1 reason why you should get DistroKid for your music distribution and of course for your music releasing purposes. So you can see my music here on this page. I chose it to start the video because it's colorful, but the page that I want to show you, that #1 reason, is the bank page. So as you can see, it's not as colorful, but it has some handy dandy information. So the first thing is the total earnings that I had accrued from June of 2020 last year to January of this year, 2022. You can see that I had accrued a total of $21.17 of streaming and some other things that we'll get to. But let's see these three breakdowns. So DistroKid provides 3 ways to see where this money is coming from. Let's first start with the simple breakdown by the artist. So you can see I'm flying solo here. It's Sound Engraver. If I was collaborating with an artist, DistroKid does give me the option of sending discretionary pay to that artist. And if that were so, if I had an artist work on a single track or an album, their name would be on this list as well. But as you can see, it's just me. And I've totaled $1.17 of views or listens, depending on the stream. This has to do with the number, as you can see here, 242. Now this does depend on what is being played where. So it's not that, oh, I get 117 for every 242 listens. Actually, no, it does depend on the platform being played, how much that platform does pay you. And then the $20 is from the 2 referrals I received doing a DistroKid sponsorship. So there is that. Let's go ahead and try the other page. Breakdown by song. Now this is very important information for you to know as an artist, as it has been with my experience, just regarding the other here. I can see, okay, well, what is the most popular as far as viewership? Well, we can see here Sunkissed, not the album per se, it's actually the track inside the album, Sunkissed. So I have Sunkissed as my album of 8 tracks, and one of those tracks is Sunkissed. It's a violin and electronics track, and it has totaled 28 cents and 44 views. I think mostly played on Spotify, if I can remember that correctly. So that's really good information for me to know, because I'm thinking, okay, this is the most popular track. This is violin and electronics. Let's go ahead and take a look at Stratagem, which is also violin and electronics, accruing 14 cents at 20 views. Trinkets is not violin and electronics, but it is part of my Sunkissed album. You can see the first 3 here. Actually, the first 4 here are a part of my Sunkissed album. So that signals to me that, oh, okay, Sunkissed as an album is pretty popular. And also you can see that the values and the financial figures here, or the fiscal figures, I should say, are subjective. So, 26 views at 13 cents and 20 views at 14 cents, it again depends on where your music is being streamed. But as far as popularity is concerned, I want to know the number of views. I want to remember, okay, something like Trinkets is popular, something like Sunkissed is popular, something like Brummel Tendencies. Not violin electronics, but that is also popular, just the mood of it all. So that is really good to know. If we scroll down here, Digital Moss is sitting at 5 cents for 7 views or 7 listens. That's quite nice. And I can see comparably much fewer in viewership. Some of my songs from Edgewise and Happy Anomaly. I would say my single tracks are the ones that accrue the least as far as cost or as far as accruing pay there, except Evergreen. I'm going to say this, Evergreen has a total of 26 views, but it is being played at a platform that doesn't pay as much as the other platforms like Amazon and Spotify. And I will say, as a musician and a composer, what is the most popular, is violin and electronics. That is going to distinguish me from other artists who just work in electronics exclusively. So that is good to know. Let's move on to the breakdown by service. So this is also handy. If we scroll down here, we can see where my music is being played. Now, the numbers are comparably low, of course, to other artists who've been around. I just started with DistroKid about 8 months ago, and I'm just releasing music on these various platforms outside a record label. So, you know, as far as how much I accrue, it's not that much now, but I do see where my music is popular. For instance, iTunes, I'm not getting anything, which means there's not really, if any, viewership. Whereas with Apple Music, I've accrued 30 cents. So there are views and people listening to my music through Apple Music. Spotify at 51 cents is the most popular. People are going mostly to my music through places like Spotify. And YouTube ads and YouTube Red, that's also accrued some, 20 cents in total. And it's kind of nice because I actually don't make money off of my YouTube channel, so it's kind of nice to know that I'm making a little money off of YouTube with my music. But there we go. And then also, most popular also is Amazon Unlimited Streaming. So not really exceeding 5 of the major platforms. A lot of these options, it's nice to know that my music is all, on all of these, but not really popular like Spotify, Amazon Unlimited, and the rest. All right, now let's go ahead and see another very interesting and helpful page, and that is this tab here, see excruciating detail. We've got a huge list scrolling all the way down, and you can see how much of my music has been viewed over the last 7 or 8 months. So how this is divided, or categorized rather, is the reporting month of the viewership, the sale, the amount accrued at that time, the store, the artist, of course me, the title, the track title, the quantity of listens or viewership, I should say. Probably listens is a better word. The type, whether it's a song or a full album, and then the country of sale, and then ultimately the earnings on the right-hand side there. So let's, it's an extensive list, so I don't want to read through all of this, even though I actually have, because it's pretty interesting to me. Let's start with, the sales month. What month had generated some sales? So let's go ahead and try September, and we will hit display here. So the sale month right there, I've got a lot of listens off of Amazon and Spotify and Apple Music, 1 Pandora, 1 TikTok, a couple YouTube, and it's accrued 22 cents. So I made 22 cents in the month of September for my streams. Let's choose an earlier month, a couple months earlier. That's when I really started releasing my music through DistroKid. And you can see a lot of Spotify, accruing just 6 cents. So just starting there. Let's try December. So accruing a lot between different countries. And actually the $10 actually is not accruing from my streams. That is from my referral, as you can see here, the DistroKid referral. So again, I have a nice promo going on with DistroKid, but I would still be using DistroKid if I did not have that promo. So a total of 46 cents. So, it's stacking up bit by bit as I'm releasing music. And of course, we don't need to do all artists because it's just me. But how about all releases? Let's start with my most popular album, and that is Sunkissed. Again, this is really good to know that my albums have been more popular than my single tracks. So accruing about, I think it was 74 cents, which is quite nice. That is my Sunkissed. So not just the track Sunkissed, also all the tracks including, so 8 tracks total. Let's see, looks like Brumal Tendencies is my most popular there. Stratagem, a little more popular than that. And Sunkissed, my actual song. So yes, so between YouTube Red and Spotify, so if you can see that, YouTube Red and Spotify, those 2 platforms have the highest number is my Sunkissed track. But all in all, my Sunkissed album is pretty important there. And then we'll try Happy Anomaly, which is my third album. And I haven't released any albums after that, just EPs and a handful of singles, so 17. And then my EP Uncharted, which was 4 tracks total, has totaled to 3 cents. So maybe it has to do with the number of tracks inside an album. Something to think about, really handy. And Bradbury Lane, I don't think I have anything here. Oh, I do, 1 cent, a couple plays there. So that's quite nice. You have all of these stores, all these streaming platforms and stores where my music is. It's handy to know where my music has been most successful, what platforms, and then also what kind of music. Violin and electronics versus electronics. Something more eclectic and upbeat is not as popular, I'm seeing, than something a little bit more ambient. So that is pretty cool to know as well. So that's why I would say go ahead and get DistroKid. If you are an independent artist, a musician, and a composer, I would just say just try it. Try it, see what's happening with your music out there in the world. Go ahead and get the annual subscription at 7% off if you click the link below and sign up. So I'm pretty excited to see the numbers going forward. So we'll see. I'm going to release a lot more music this year. So anyway, hopefully you found that helpful, and I shall see you next time. Thanks again.